What is going on, fellas, and welcome back to the Director of Football Journeyman with me, FoggyPlays, on FM21. Today, we're going to look at the rest of the transfers that went through after the first league game of the season, and then we're going to take on Monaco in the Champions League group. Results have been a little... We've been struggling a little bit recently, but most importantly, we have an opportunity to win a game in the Champions League against Monaco, a team I struggled with during our time with Angers. So let's see how that goes. Right, so as I said, we're taking on Monaco in today's episode, but we are going to have a look at the results and the transfers that have been made since the last episode. The director of football decided to pick up Juan Gabriel, who I scouted by mistake through my scouts when I meant to scout him for the national team, and it's still not working with that. But he's a Spanish player. I was considering bringing him into the first team to see how he's going to get on. He's not played at all this year. Never mind. So he's coming in for 1.9 million, and again, as per usual, 10 finishing. The guy lacks in the old finishing department, but that's not the most important thing in the world for a striker. What is important is his ability to... It's quite important for a striker to score goals, isn't it? Anyway, the players that we have let go since we were here last. Sanyang has gone to Lazio for 38 million. Muller did end up leaving to Borussia Mönchengladbach for 22 million. A couple of players went out on loan on deadline day, with like 2 hours of our window left. Tobias Mora had an offer from PSG. The director of football rejected it. I told the director of football to go have a chat with Tobias Mora, and an hour later, Tobias Mora was a PSG player. So that was less than ideal. As you can see, Belakachip has left as well to go to Rennes for 145k. Plus, I think there's a optional fee at just shy of 21 million. So we're going to make the sadness of Belakachip leaving. Right on the deadline day, like it was a couple of hours left in our window, if that. No, it was maybe an hour 45 or something. There wasn't a huge amount of time left. Havani did eventually leave. 29 minutes. Turned a tasty bit of profit on him for a guy he played half the games last season. He's gone to Benfica for 29 million. Is now valued at 22.5. Okay, we made a nice... we did well in that one. Nobody cares about Berger. Selin went on loan to Estoril, the Uruguayan winger that we brought in earlier in the year. See if he gets a bit of first team football there. Hopefully he does something. Cedric Frank was our Albanian 16-year-old goalkeeper who I had high hopes for, that he might eventually get some sort of football. He's left to go to Freiburg for 275k, and Peter Hoffman was the wonder kid left back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the wonder kid left back. He's gone to Nuremberg for 5.25 million, which was his release clause. Did say there was a lot of release clauses in this club. Just like I said, the director of football absolutely loves a release clause. The players that have come in since you were here: Daniel Televsky is a 19-year-old Macedonian attacking midfielder who came in from Red Star for 16.75 million. Played 4 games already, scored a goal. He looks pretty good. That goal was scored in a tactic I have not used in a long time, and I might try it today. Roman Grau was brought in as a right back when Rob Clough went out as a backup right back from Frankfurt. 3-star potential, 3-star current ability, 12 million. It's a little bit expensive. Oh, we've already paid some money out to him. Don't know what the clauses are, but he's fine, I guess. He's not the best right back in the world, but he's our right back now. Karim Adeyemi, potentially rising to 24.5 million, signed him from Bayern Munich, player that I've had previous with as the Spain manager. Never really got a chance at Bayern. He's not really done a whole lot with his career, to be fair. He's quite good for Austria. I know that for a fact. But it's a lot of money for a player that's not really good enough. Like, our director of football loves giving people money when they're not really first team players. We signed a winger, a Qatari winger, Badr Abdullah from PSG on loan for the season. He's not really broken into the first team. He had a decent season with Tenerife. He came in and on his debut gave away a penalty. So he's on the naughty list. I haven't played him a huge amount. We have plenty of options at right wing. I don't know why he was brought in. Mile Monastori was brought in. This guy literally, like, it popped up saying we were signing him, and he was already at the club. Like, the director of football offered for him, and he was already here. So he is a Serbian goalkeeper, signed from Partizan. He's been pretty decent with Partizan. Not a Serbian international, but he's just like third choice goalkeeper. And this guy, again, no idea who he is, just popped out of nowhere, just appeared. Jefferson Victor is a left back / left winger who almost instantly picked up an injury. Yeah, he came off the bench and picked up an injury in the same game. Going to see how he gets on. Left winger is very good at the old being a winger, which is quite nice. Has very good teamwork. His agility, pace, and acceleration are fantastic. The crossing, dribbling, first touch technique, the guy is going to be a monster. I'm just hoping that he actually does something while he's here. So we've spent 128 million, sold 172 million, and as you can imagine, there's a huge rotate or change in the team. We've a couple of players that are unhappy about being left out of the Champions League squad. Favre Berthier is unhappy that the loan offer from Carluche got rejected, but he is in and around the first team. The majority of the team like us, which is delightful. Ulrich, I'm surprised he doesn't like us that much. I'm disappointed in Coops. And to be fair, Abdullah. Results since we were last here have been interesting. So I told you about the Bochum game. We then went and beat Mainz 3-0. Hillenbrand got his goal against his old club, as he tends to do. Against Frankfurt, Eigler scored an absolute fantastic corner, and that was pretty much everything that happened in the game. Against Porto, 3-2, we went 2-0 down, scored twice to come back, and then they scored late on. We couldn't break them down again. Then against Hamburg, they were super defensive. Faith Fendel picked up an injury in that game. I'm disappointed in him. And then against Werder Bremen, this was so disappointing. They had we went 3 up, and as you do, our players decided to stop playing football. Arntonoli, who was ex-Bear player, scored against us. Dean Martin, a player that I think our director of football, if I remember correctly, offered for and rejected us and went to Werder Bremen instead. And then they had a breakaway goal from our own corner, and Del Forno scored in the 94th minute. And then we beat Borussia Dortmund 3 goals from Overton, all spectacular goals. Jude Bellingham scored an absolute screamer in that game, and Philip Kranz scored a penalty that was it. Maybe it wasn't. What's his face? Dude, man, the Qatar guy. It's not. I'm having a little bit of anger with Qatari players at the minute because there's a Qatari / Spanish player that I want to bring into my Spain team. He keeps rejecting me. He wants to play for Qatar. And there's also a Brazilian goalkeeper I want to get into the Spain team, and he keeps rejecting me because he wants to play for Brazil, even though he's nowhere near the Brazil team. It's infuriating. It's all because he doesn't want to travel. Oh, poor. So yeah, we've been in mixed form. League-wise, we are sitting 6th, already been beaten twice this year, which is disappointing. Leipzig and Bayern have yet to lose a game. Hertha have only lost one game to Bayern Munich. And as you can see, the group has us sitting 3rd at the moment. So we're needing to win. Porto did do the business on us. We're playing the 2 teams that lost the first game. And this is how we're lining up today. In one of the games, we did play 4 at the back, 2 central midfielders, and then 4 across the top. We didn't have we went strikerless, and it worked for a little bit. I think it was against Werder Bremen actually that we went the strikerless, and it sort of worked, but kind of didn't. So I rather quickly gave up on it. We have been playing mostly 4-2-3-1. But we've also played 4-3-3. It's hard. We're struggling to put together a team that's cohesive and works. Jefferson Victor is sitting on the bench today, can only play 75 minutes. Hillenbrand is a little tired after he picked up an injury in the last game. So he's going to sit on the bench and potentially make his way onto the pitch today. Namandi Collins did get one of his first games in the last game we played. We just need to kind of bring him in slowly, because his attributes have been absolutely tanking since he picked up that injury at the end of last season. And I'm just hoping that if we just bring him back in gently, then potentially he'll get back to where he was when we signed him, because he was an absolute monster when we signed him, and he's dropped off significantly. But then again, he did pick up quite a significant injury, which took quite a number of weeks, months for him to recover from. Mutombo does not get us a penalty. I was full sure that was a penalty there, but it was not. Munoz, who in the last round of international games, I forgot to bring him off the bench. So he's had a decent season this year so far. I say that now and he's going to absolutely shit the bed. But he was... Oh, Chope Felipe doesn't get a touch to it. I thought that was him pushing it over the bar. It was not. Yeah, Munoz has had a decent return so far this season. He's not been terrible. He's also not been fantastic. So I'm just kind of hoping that if he just stays mediocre for a little while, then we're not going to have to worry too much about what happens. I hope more than anything that we can just get him to be a decent centre back, because we paid so much money for him. I feel like we need to use him. Sekrovic, he's hit the crossbar, or just whistled over the bar. I don't know. It looked like it hit the crossbar. You let me know in the comments. Did it hit the crossbar? This has been a lot of highlights, but not a huge amount is happening. Eigler is very deep for a right winger. And MONACO worked their way through. João Felipe pushes it behind for a corner. Are we going to get a breakaway from this? I fiddled with the corner routine as well, because it wasn't... There were Overton. It was just kind of being thrown around when it was being pushed in. It didn't really go anywhere. It wasn't really... Our corner routines this year were a bit terrible. João Felipe, I don't know if he needed to save that, but I'll just assume he did. Like he just wanted to be sure. Al Salman heads it away, goes as far as the corner taker. Coops wins the ball back, and it goes to half time. Right, we're going to thrash our arms and say I'm far from pleased. To be fair, João Felipe actually not having a terrible game, so I'm going to be like, hey, you weren't that bad, but I have faith in you. Still demotivated. That's fine. I'm going to tell Al Salman that I have faith in him. Hopefully it'll increase his rating. Overton's having a less than ideal game, so I'm going to give him a bit of faith, and actually do the same with Mutombo. Because Mutombo's not played a huge amount of games this year. He only really gets into the team when we play the 4-3-3, and even then, still kind of hum and haw about whether I start him or not. He kind of fell out of the team last year, and then the Director of Football rejected a whole bunch of offers from him, and I was I was very upset. I really could have done with Mutombo leaving, because it would have made my life a little bit easier rather than trying to find a place for a guy who didn't have any interest in playing. But Orlando gets the ball across. Eigler with the goal. His 9th of the season. He has been in exceptional form this year. Himself and Adiemi are kind of the ones that are rotating between striker and right winger. And Eigler's played quite well out on the wing, but he's played fantastically up front as well. But we don't have anyone who plays on the right wing as well as him. We don't have a striker who plays as well as him in the striker position. So Overton's played, speaking of the devil, Overton's played relatively well when he's been up front, mostly in a 4-3-3. I tried playing him as a Mazzella where he shone last season, and he was terrible. I think his head's been turned again. He did have the issue last year where he was unhappy, and he seems to be one of those when he's not happy, he is a tremendously bad player to have in your team because he is a troublemaker. But I think he does want to leave, and he's had offers, so we might have to leave him go. And unfortunately, Sekrovic, his shot wasn't quite strong enough to get past Baronez, who, to be fair, I'm surprised he's playing for Monaco. I thought he would have been, I suppose, I don't want to be disingenuous, but I thought he would have been at a better team. And Sekrovic scores after Orlando's shot gets blocked by one of the Monaco defenders. We've come out and played significantly better in this second half. I am quite happy. Porto and Shakhtar are drawing, which I suppose is quite a good result for us. Because you don't want one, I suppose at the same time you kind of want one team to just run away with it. Where you're like, oh, I don't have to worry about a random team coming up and causing issues. Iglar's going to come in as the complete forward. Adeyemi is going to play as an inverted winger on attack. I'm going to take I take Orlando off, bring on Jefferson Victor as the inverted winger, but I need you to be on attack actually because you are quite good at the football. Salmon's having a poor game. Might bring on Mandy Collins in just a hot second. Grow, long throw. Overton puts Fairness under a bit of pressure. Unfortunately, Monaco still have the ball. Rodrigo. Orlando says, not today, buddy. Orlando gets it to Iglar. Out to Grow. Grow crosses it. He does to the back post, and that looping header, if that had gone into the back net, that would have been ultimate chef's kiss. Would have probably been my favourite goal we scored this series, I think. Orlando really taking advantage of the last little bit of time he's going to get on the pitch. Iglar can't get there, and Orlando does eventually score. I think that's his first goal since the Pokal. No, can't be. Did he score 5 in the Pokal? I thought maybe he scored 4. Maybe he has scored since. But it was a very nice effort. We are 4 up. Iglar gets his shot blocked. Orlando's there to just pop it in the back of the net. We are still going to make those changes. I just want to freshen up the team a little bit. Give everyone a little bit of a run around. Monaco on the attack now. We might make one final change. If I know Al Salmon's playing badly, but there's no point in really taking him off. Is there a point in taking him off? Going to give that a bit of praise. Adeyemi's only just on the pitch, already picked up the yellow card. You love to see it. Coops, back to Sekrovic. Coops, whips it across. Iglar, offside. Offside? I'm assuming he's offside. Because they generally are when it goes to a goal review. And it is. It's offside. Right, so we don't need to look at that. We're going to do this. Swap it over to this. We're going to leave Overton up front because he is the lesser tired player. We're going on Talevski, who has made his North Macedonian debut since he signed for us. We paid a lot of money for him, so I'm hoping that he can continue the good form that he's been in, because he has actually played really rather well. We gave him the number 8 as well when he arrived, because why not? That was magnificent, lads. Well done. Good job. Al Salman ended up playing a 6.9. That's not the worst rating he could have gotten. Jefferson Victor didn't, to be fair, the lads we were on didn't really get an awful lot of opportunities to do anything, and Porto did win their game. 75th minute goal against Shakhtar. That's what you want to see. Dominant win. The Monaco manager is refusing to freak out about it. I don't really care. I did expect us to be better than Porto. This has been coming up constantly. Kulikov and PSG watching Kulikov, but he keeps saying he's not interested. So I'm quite happy. But Kulikov does come out and say that my angry team talk got them going. We do have a international break after the Hanover game, where I'm going to be playing against Iran and South Korea, which should be an interesting time for the players. We have a lot of players who've never played for the Spanish team coming with us to play those games. Hopefully, we can smash it. We're also hosting the Euros 2030 World Cup. We're hosting the World Cup. Yeah, World Cup. Croatia. Schedule. World Cup qualifiers. Yeah. So we're hosting the World Cup. The 2030 World Cup, because I was trying to figure out why we didn't have a group, why we didn't get drawn a group, and it's because we're hosting it. So that's fantastic. So next episode, when you come back, we're going to have a look at probably Shakhtar Borussia Mönchengladbach, if the Shakhtar game ends quickly, because this one has been quite long. I did not realize I'm recording for 20 plus minutes. Right, we are going to end it there. I'm going to have to edit this down so it's not a stupidly long episode. If you have enjoyed this episode, please do make sure to leave a like, comment down below who you think is going to be the best of the signings we made. We did make a lot of them. It's like 15 players arrived. And subscribe, share, comment, like, and I will see you in the next one.